Hey, greetings, parents. Remember the beginning of the year video when we said that even though the kids look really young, yep, they do, that very soon they just grow up. The first kids I had here at this school are already in high school. And so, what we're doing in fourth grade is getting them ready for life. Yes, because they have to be ready to succeed in the rest of their life. And so, that's what this conference is going to be about. So, we'll be looking at each fourth grader and how they're doing in each important process of life. We'll be celebrating, yes, and setting goals as well. So, what we've been doing to get ready for the conference is each student has been making a slideshow of their work. It will show us what we need to celebrate, but also what we need to set goals at. And Anthony was kind enough to let me use his as an example. So, this is what you'll be seeing at the conferences, your fourth graders slideshow. It's kind of cool. They learned so much about technology and how to add things. And wow, we had just a blast. And it also gave the kids a chance to look at how they're doing and to become in charge, yes, of their learning. And so they have their title pages with their name. But the biggest factor of the whole year that guarantees success is the word focus. Yep, that is the word of the year in fourth grade. The beginning of the year video started out with, yes, focus. Where are you at in focus? Do you focus on your work? Do you do very little? So you see a continuum there, 1 to 10. And so I do very little, or in the middle, yeah, I do some, or at number 10, you do everything. And then they wrote a paragraph about their focus with a hook at the beginning and just looking at how they're doing in the word focus. Right along with focus is this big question: who makes you work? Yeah, who makes you work? Maybe you're at a 1, maybe no one makes you work. Well, isn't that too bad if that's the case? Or maybe you're in the middle. Someone always is making you work. Your teacher or your mom or your dad is always pushing you to work. Or what if you're at a 10 where you're self-propelled and you work all on your own? There's just a giant difference between what people do if they do it on their own versus having to be herded like cats. Yep, come on, kitty, do this. Now you have to do this, then you have to do that. Come on, hurry, let's go. What if you have to be nagged all the time to work? That's a bummer. You probably do a 10th as much as those who are self-propelled. So we're going to be looking at if your fourth grader isn't self-propelled, wow, they're missing a lot. And what could we do? Hey, maybe video games have to go. And my long history of teaching, I've seen nothing take away the will to work better than video games. That's my opinion, but it's backed up by a lot of evidence as well. So who makes you work? Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one. And then drama sucks the life right out of the room. And so, man, we just don't tolerate drama. We do everything we can to snuff that drama out. So kids will be rating themselves on where they are at drama. Maybe they live for drama. Yep. Or they do some drama, or they do no drama, which is where we want to be. Another big one is being ready for the day. So every strategy of life needs a set of thinking steps. Like successful people always think, where am I going? What do I need? Do I have it? Is it in the right spot? They don't just shuffle into school and shoot. They don't have their notebooks. They don't have their pencil. They're not ready for the day. I mean, if we're going to get ready for life, we have to be thinking actively about what do I need? And so students will rate themselves on where they are in that. Do they always need a pencil from me? And they don't have a notebook and they don't have paper and they're not ready? Well, you're not going to succeed, and no boss is going to want to hire you if that's how unprepared you are. So that's a huge goal. Reading, so many important pieces of reading. Phonics is one, fluency is one, and comprehension, is the icing on that cake. And so we'll be rating students on their phonics abilities. I'll be making a video soon on what it is we're learning. There's also a video in the upper corner for every fourth grader. I made a separate video for each fourth grader of them reading the words in phonics. It's knowing how to decode a word instantly. So we're not going to leave fourth grade guessing at what those words are. Okay, and then fluency is another one. If we have time this week, we're going to make a video of the kids actually reading. Do they stop at the periods? Do they have expression? Fluency is everything in reading, because if you stumble along in your reading, you won't be able to understand what you read. And then understanding is so important. That's the biggest thing we work on this year is what do you have to think when you're reading? And we have a cool program called Common Lit. I'll make a video just to show how awesome that program is. So they always have proof. Their reading scores are going to be posted. It's out of 10. And so that'll help us celebrate or set goals. And then Article of the Day is just an astounding program where students read an article. We want them to do 6 a week. Yep, we do. And then along with that writing, they write a little summary in that great book of knowledge. And you know what? If they do both of those, their success just reigns supreme. So here's the range of the whole class. How many articles have they written this year? You know, are they asleep at the wheel, or are they focused and going like crazy? Because if they're not doing very many, that's one thing we want to change. And so the Article of the Day scores are there. Like each week they get a score. How many articles have they read? And then along with that is, hey, what's the quality of their writing? Because if the quality of the writing isn't good, well, maybe the quality of their reading wasn't good either. So this is a huge thing to look at, and which kind of rates them on their focus and who makes you work. Yep, it all of these strategies of life just plain old tie together. And then writing, another huge thing we are learning to do this year. We're learning to do advanced writing where the writer has a hook, and a flood of evidence, and along with the periods and the capital letters. Probably the hardest thing I have to teach is writing. And so their scores in each of those are shown as well on their slide, and that'll help us set goals and celebrate as well. And so the students chose at least 5 of their essays, that kind of just shows what they're learning. Like here's Anthony's. He started out with just an incredible hook, because the whole article was about weird natural disasters. So his first sentence nails the whole main idea. Have you ever seen a weird natural disaster? But then his follow-up questions support the pillars that support that main idea. Like he says, do you know a huge disaster that killed a bunch of people? Have you ever been to a weird lake that exploded and bursted with CO2? Have you ever seen a volcano that killed a bunch of people and it affected the whole world? Have you ever seen a deadly asteroid that exploded and it came to Earth so fast people from far away could feel it? And so his whole hook paragraph just explodes in main idea. I mean, it's like, whoa, that's exactly what we are learning to do. But then you want the evidence, because without the evidence, a hook isn't worth anything at all. So in each one, he's got a main idea hook, but also the evidence that explains it. And there was another disaster. So this is all one of his essays. So they're splitting their essay up onto a number of slide pages just so you can see them all. And then he's got the conclusion at the end, which is just exactly what good writing is. Here's another good essay that he wrote with all the evidence to support it. Here's another essay. Every day we write an essay. I mean, it's really rigorous. We like plain old work. And so the question's going to be, does your 4th grader get past the hook? Do they get to the evidence? And what are we going to do if they don't? Well, we're starting to take more notes when we read, so that we aren't going to copy from the writing. Nope, we're going to have notes that will organize our writing. And so, yes, we have the conclusion again. We want that. And so, what we learn in 4th grade, boy, if they accomplish all these things, they are ready for life. And so there's more of his essays. But then the grand finale is they're going to write a paragraph about their biggest accomplishments, not just what they're good at, but how it is that they're good at it. We're going to make that depth of knowledge of explaining go deeper and deeper and deeper in these paragraphs. But then the paragraph about their goals. like, and how are you going to accomplish their goals? Now, if you don't get to the conference, we sure hope you do, and I'll have a sign up link on this same dojo page where this video is. If you don't get to the conference, you can go to Google Classroom and see your child's, slideshow and go through it with them and have them lead the conference, with you to explain where they're at in the learning. Because a huge part of being successful in life is to be able to look at your life and see what's going well, and then see what you have to make changes on. And so this is helping students be in charge of their learning. And Ms. Nayak and I are having the best time with the fourth graders, and we do a lot of celebrating, and we sure do a lot of pushing too. And as we do that pushing, please know we are after the good of that fourth grader to get them absolutely as ready for life as they can be. Yahoo! See you at the conference.